Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is an American media franchise created by the comic book artists Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. It follows Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael, four anthropomorphic turtle brothers named after Italian Renaissance artists trained in ninjutsu who fight evil in the New York City area. Supporting characters include the Turtles' rat sensei Splinter, their human friends April O'Neil and Casey Jones, and enemies such as Baxter Stockman, Krang, and their arch-enemy, the Shredder. The franchise began as a comic book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which Eastman and Laird conceived as a parody of elements popular in superhero comics at the time. The first issue was published in 1984 by Eastman and Laird's company, Mirage Studios, which was a surprise success. In 1987, Eastman and Laird licensed the characters to Playmates Toys, which developed a line of Turtles action figures. About $1.1 billion worth of Turtles toys were sold between 1988 and 1992, making them the third best-selling toy figures ever at the time. The action figures were promoted with an animated series which premiered in 1987 and ran for almost a decade. 3 live-action films were released. The first became the highest-grossing independent film up to that point. In 2009, the franchise was purchased by Viacom, now Paramount Global. The comic book authors Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird met in Massachusetts and began working on illustrations together. In 1983, Laird invited Eastman to move in with him in Dover, New Hampshire. That November, Eastman drew a masked turtle standing on its hind legs, armed with nunchucks. Laird added the words Teenage Mutant. The concept parodied several elements popular in superhero comics of the time. The mutants of the Uncanny X-Men, the teenagers of the New Teen Titans, and the ninjas of Daredevil, combined with the comic tradition of funny animals such as Howard the Duck. Eastman and Laird developed the concept into a comic book. They considered giving the turtles Japanese names, but instead named them after Italian Renaissance artists Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo, which Laird said, quote, just felt quirky enough to fit the concept, end quote. They developed a backstory referencing further elements of Daredevil. Like Daredevil, the turtles are altered by radioactive material, and their sensei, Splinter, is a play on Daredevil sensei's stick. In March 1984, Eastman and Laird founded a comic book company, Mirage Studios, in their home. Using money from a tax refund and a loan from Eastman's uncle, they printed copies of the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and advertised it in Comics Buyer's Guide magazine. This attracted the interest of comic distributors, and all 3,000 copies were sold in a few weeks. Sales of further issues continued to climb. In most versions, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are created when 4 baby turtles are exposed to radioactive ooze, transforming them into humanoids. They fight evil in New York City, where they reside in the sewers. Leonardo, the leader, is the most disciplined and skilled turtle. An expert swordsman, he wields 2 katana and wears a blue bandana. Raphael, the strongest and most reckless turtle, wears a red bandana and uses a pair of sai. Donatello uses his intellect to invent gadgets and vehicles. He wears a purple mask and uses a bow staff. Michelangelo is the least disciplined and most fun-loving turtle and is usually portrayed as the most agile. He wears an orange bandana and uses nunchucks. Splinter is a mutant rat who is the wise adoptive father of the turtles and teaches them ninjutsu. In some iterations, he was once the pet rat of the ninja master Hamato Yoshi. In others, he is a mutated Yoshi. The turtles are assisted by April O'Neil, who is variously depicted as a news reporter, lab assistant, or genius computer programmer. In most versions, she is pursued romantically by Casey Jones, a hockey mask-wearing vigilante who usually becomes an ally of the turtles. The turtles' nemesis is the Shredder, who leads the criminal ninja clan known as the Foot. His real identity is usually Ninja Orokusaki. The Shredder allies with Baxter Stockman, a mad scientist, and Krang, an alien warlord. Krang was introduced in the original animated series and was inspired by the Outram race from the comics. Also created for the series were Shredder's buffoonish henchmen Bebop and Rocksteady, a mutant rhinoceros and warthog. Eastman sold his share of the Turtles franchise to Laird in 2000. In 2003, 4Kids Entertainment launched a new animated Turtle series, which ran for 7 seasons. Laird had a role in the production, creating a closer adaptation of the original comic. A film based on the series, Turtles Forever, was released in 2009. A computer-animated Turtles film, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was released in 2007 and earned $95 million at the box office. On October 21, 2009, it was announced that Laird had sold the franchise to Viacom. He said that he had tired of working on Turtles, writing, quote, "I am no longer that guy who carries his sketchbook around with him and draws in it every chance he gets," end quote. In August 2011, IDW Publishing launched a new Turtles comic series with Eastman as co-writer and illustrator. A third animated series premiered in September 2012 on Nickelodeon and ran for 5 seasons before ending in 2007. A fourth live-action Turtles film, produced by Platinum Dunes, Nickelodeon Movies, and Paramount Pictures, was directed by Jonathan Liebsman and produced by Michael Bay, was released on August 8, 2014. It received negative reviews but was a box office success. A sequel, Out of the Shadows, directed by Dave Green, was released in June 2016. A fourth animated series, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, premiered in 2018 and ran for 2 seasons. A film sequel to the series was announced in 2019 for the streaming service Netflix. 2 additional films are in development, Mutant Mayhem, produced by Seth Rogen, and a live-action reboot produced by Michael Bay.